Do you want to take your PC from a horror show like this to an absolutely clean and whistling beautiful thing like this? Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the 4-piece variety of Walkie Triple XL, and today we're going to show you how to clean out that manky PC. Especially, a lot of people kind of tend to just leave it and carry on year after year, and honestly, thermal paste doesn't really go past 18 months with being or remaining effective. It becomes an old crusty job. So we're going to do a 2-for-1 special today, and we're going to show you my tips and tricks for cleaning out the machine and then how to actually apply thermal paste. Now we need obviously a couple of tools to facilitate this process. If you have one of these, it's very, very nice to have, and honestly, if you're 6 years old in your brain like me, then it's also kind of fun. Violent and sudden dentistry aside, it's very good at cleaning off the top layers of dust. So you'll see with the hanging set of cobwebs and stuff that were inside there, nothing drives my OCD more wild than that. It will absolutely destroy that problem. You can use compressed air as well. I would dissuade you from using the compressed air at like a garage or something to that effect, because it often has water that will come out of there as well. You might spray some inside of the PC, not know about it, go home, switch on, and boom, there goes your computer. So yeah, and it's not even the water itself that causes the problem, it's actually the parts of dust suspended in the water that allows then the current to flow through and yeah, then cause that short. So you're obviously going to want to avoid doing that. The real hero, the real champion is this sucker right here, the ye olde paintbrush. Buy a brand new paintbrush. Don't use one that has been used before. Just get a new one off the shelf, absolutely anywhere. You can pretty much go to Spar in South Africa and pick one of these up, and it's going to cost you 50 bucks. And this is the real hero. And the way that you use this sucker is pretty straightforward. You sort of dab and poke like that at harder surfaces like that, and it's going to then whisk those off. And you can see the before and after of using that. The machine then becomes considerably cleaner. If that's still not good enough for you, you can take it to the final level. Get yourself a microfiber cloth. These days they're kind of dime a dozen, and make it ever so slightly damp. You fully wet it and just wring its neck like the way that the ANC wrings the Treasury budget out. You do the same, and then it will be at almost basically the perfect point for you to then mop up the little bits of dust. Now in your PC, the GPU is considerably bigger than this little old GT220. This is a shame, this is a very sweet old little machine. It's a first gen i5, can you dig it? It still works and runs. I'm gonna do the software, it's like I said, it's for a friend. I'm just helping to make it run so they can use it as like a media PC. And in that facet, it's gonna do a really, really good job because it's even got a little Wi-Fi card on here. But in your PC, your GPU is going to be considerably larger, and I do have a full tutorial available for you to do the thermal paste replacement. But what about on this system? So removing the CPU cooler, you're going to notice that it is on the old and crusty side. That's the original thermal paste from nearly 10 years ago. And as I said, you're going to want to do that every 18 months. If you are a bit more pedantic, like your boy over here, do it every year. If you're a little bit more relaxed about it and you don't have as high in the system and your temps and stuff are looking good, then once every 2 years will probably be fine. Now, when you take it off, it's very straightforward. You just unscrew all the corners and you remove the CPU cooler. But when you put it back on, you need to be a little bit careful, especially with Intel setups with this cross-pointed, screwed-in type of position. That's exactly how you're going to do it. You're going to start like on the top right and then go to the bottom left. So whichever side you prefer, just go from adjacent sides like that, then fill in the top and then the bottom. And you don't go all the way in. You start at about half, you put half in on the other side for positions 1 and 2, and then after that you fully fasten those down, and then you start with the other set of corners and basically do the same. You want to go about half on the other side to make sure that that cooler position is seated properly and evenly across the CPU. When you're applying the thermal paste as well, you want to do so in an X-frame type pattern. You can draw a star on it as well, especially for AM5 and into the newer Intel stuff as well on the LJ1700. You're going to want to make sure that the longest cross position is filled in like that. Deep Cool Z10 is what I use on pretty much everything, as the thermal performance is exceptional at 95 Rand a tube. And if you buy a tube for 95 bucks, you're probably going to have, I would say, a good like 10 applications from that. You really don't need to use an exceptionally large amount, as you will see pictured on your screen. And so afterwards, you have an incredibly clean PC, and it's really, really helpful to its operation, not being caked and dusted up, especially in amongst the fins like you would see on the GPU and on the CPU cooler. It means that the air can now flow in between there properly and actually use that surface area, because cooling effectively works out to surface area plus air movement of air, the air itself becoming hot and then moving off. It actually has density. We know this from aerodynamics, and it's exactly the same sort of function inside of your computer. So, do you need a 600 Rand blower? Probably not. If you've got access to one, that's great. You could buy little cans of compressed air if you need to. There's a lot of laptop type of cleaning ones. A paintbrush and a microfiber cloth, though, is going to get you to 90% of the job, if not basically 100%, just with a little bit of extra elbow grease. And it's going to take you an hour or so to do absolutely everything that you need to within the machine, and then you're good for basically another year. If you have pets, however, especially with cats, big floofy boys tend to shed quite a bit more. And in general, I notice people that have cats often have even worse than dogs. If you have big floofy dogs as well, it is going to affect that short hair and stuff. Animals, you're probably going to be fine for a little bit of a longer time. Anywho, that is what I have for you in this Turbo Tortoise tutorial. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will link all of the relevant videos as well as the tune-up video for your software down below. In any case, hope you guys stay safe, keep well, and I will see you on the flip side.